If you somehow aren't aware, I have been building my very own dream theme park in Planet Coaster 2, now officially called Isle of Discovery, and if you want to see me open the park and stuff, then go watch episode 10. The previous one. But as said, we named the park in that episode, opened it, and I even built an entirely new area. But today, we are going to start our next major themed area along with a roller coaster, a brand new water ride, and a flat ride. All of which will be themed in a certain way. And I'll explain what it'll be themed to later in this video. So if you do enjoy this build and you do want to see the entire park come together as time goes on, then be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss another episode. Because somehow we are already on episode 11. Every single time I make one of these videos, I'm like, so many weeks have gone past, yet it feels like the other day that I started this entire park. It's crazy, but in 11 episodes now, technically, we will have built 3.5 areas, because this one won't be finished by the end of this episode, and they're all fully fledged themed areas, of course, with the Greek Olympus, you've got Stores Time, our Viking themed area, the steampunk area of Industria, and now a brand new area that's going to have a junior family coaster in it. I say junior is more like we built last time, the Drakkar little kiddie coaster. I mean a Vekoma family LIM launched roller coaster. Yes, that is what I'm building here. You've probably seen me build 2 launches already, so you kind of know it's launched. I don't know what I'm talking about, but this came in the DLC with the sort of Mack Extreme Spinner, a few different flat rides, and spoiler alert, there probably will be a Mack Extreme Spinner at some point in this park, but not yet. And it came with this, so I really wanted to build one of these because not only aren't there many of them in the world as it is, and I'd love to try and make one as sort of one of the first, even though there is 2 or 3 already, but I'd love to make one for this park too because I just love the way they ride, you know, they're super fast, they do loads of like S-curves and airtime hills, but they're not too thrilling to a point where kids won't want to ride them. It's a family coaster after all, and I'm really, really happy with how this has turned out. I love saying I'm so happy with things, don't I? What am I sad about? I'm sad about the fact that... I don't know what I'm sad about. Maybe if I'm on this roller coaster, I'd be sad about the fact that I'm just going to fly into the terrain. But talking of terrain, I really wanted this coaster to follow the terrain quite well. And this end section, that entire section that I've already built, that pretty much stays the same. But this end section changes a lot. As you can see, I was literally going to have a turn into the brake run, and that completely changed. I've now gone for like a sort of under the pathway, swooping round into like a little turn, another turn, and into the brake run now. That's then going to be changed even though I smoothed it out because it's just way too short of an ending. I want the ending to be the longest part after that final launch with the fastest launch, and that's what I went and did. This does back onto Industria, our steampunk area. There's a lot of warehouse buildings, so you might be wondering what's going on with that. And I might as well explain what the theme of this area is. We don't actually build too much of the theming in this episode, although I do build the front car of the coaster, so you'll see that in its whole glory. But as you can see, we're just going through and making all the block sections and everything right now, and I should probably actually tell you what the theme is going to be, as I said. Basically, we have these different themes of like mythology and stuff, and I've had a lot of people ask, instead of going for mythology, or like a steampunk area for instance, why not go and use the resort theme but make it more of like a jungle, maybe a bit Polynesian sort of vibe. So that's what this area is going to be about. It's going to be some sort of, well, this coaster, as I said, is like a jeep going through the jungle, like an escape or something, I don't know. There's another water ride in the area that will be themed to the jungle too. And a flat ride in sort of the corner closest to the Viking area as well. But there might be another another flat ride going in as well at some point in the future. Because I now have a full-fledged plan for the next few episodes of this series. I'm not going to reveal all the details, but I can say it's going to get very interesting. I can't lie to you. We're going to have a lot of things happening. Of course, this episode we built a brand new family coaster with loads of different launches, high-speed turns, and we're building the other rides too, which I do show you the full process of this time because I didn't forget to record it because this time I'm not an idiot. Well, I probably am. But this time, you're seeing that. Next time, we're going to be continuing that area from last time. There's a lot of times here. But that sort of area we made where it looked really like Celestial Park in Epic Universe, that area, we're going to be extending that out slightly into where I guess the boundary of this jungle area is, because I sort of want to extend that and make something right behind it that's going to be a main infrastructure of the park. So that's all I'm going to say. We're not going to say any more. That'll be coming in the next couple episodes. Not the next one because we're building the rest of this jungle area, but the one after, we'll start that. And then soon after that, the water park, the Viking themed water park that I've been talking about since like episode 2, I think. That's finally going to start. So I'm very excited for that. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. As you can see, recolouring the track to a nice green colour. And of course, those trains to grey/black. Don't know why. I mean, I could probably go for a lot more colourful Jeep, but it's just usual colour. And here we go with the ending of the ride being changed. I wanted to show you fully the actual build process of this coaster, because you see with like Cognition and stuff and Viva, there was a few different mishaps here and there, but I don't think I've ever really shown the full sort of looking around at the ride, testing it a couple times and then thinking, nah, let's change it. Because even this isn't the final version. That little wave turn-esque thing into the ground does stay, but the extended version is a bit longer, with that sort of turn towards the end being a lot more outwards, beyond the barrier of the area that I actually wanted there to be. So yeah, you'll see that in a short while. But like I said, I just wanted to get through the sort of proper struggle and show you guys the full build process, because I think a lot of the time it looks too concise, and I sort of sit there and I go through it in about 10 minutes and it looks like I've fought it up and made it in an instant. But no, it really isn't like that. The only idea I really had with this jungle theme is the fact that that back sort of warehouse that you can see right up against the station, that is going to be some really nice ruins, like a temple. Not the same as the Olympus temples that you see there, but like a different temple. Why did I just go over to Valkyrie for a second? I don't know what that's about, but I wanted to go for more like a sort of jungle temple at the back of the area, and then obviously maybe incorporate the station into that, and also bits of the ride. So that first section where you go up into like a helix and stuff, that could go in and out of the temple, like loads of different things like that. And then also we've just got the sort of jungle area in front of it with this coaster and its rides. So what am I doing here? The pathways. Oh, interesting stuff with the pathways. A lot of the time, terrain is a big factor in making a unique looking area. God, I sounded like a theme park designer then, didn't I? Most theme parks that are built are not flat. There is no way. It's like booting up a super flat world in Minecraft. That's such a random reference, but it's like doing that in real life. It's just impossible. You can't just flatten an entire area, as much as Universal Studios Bedford does look pretty flat, the fields it's on. They're still going to probably have loads of different terrain and up and down ramps and pathways and everything throughout their areas when that does happen, because I think it will. If you want to see my field episode about that, you know, where we sit at the Universal Studios Bedford field and discuss everything, I think it's going to be a lot more terrain than that flat field, because they're going to dig up, dig down, dig up, nice one. But they're going to make these pathways in their areas a lot more sort of embedded down into the ground and going up and everything for different viewpoints, and just to make it look less flat. Because I think flat park builds are often quite, you look at them and you go, oh, this looks cool, but they're not as unique as the ones that always go up and down in terrain, such as Alton Towers. The fact that, you know, the Smiler 14 inversion coaster, that could have been built by Six Flags on a car park, but it's so iconic because it is not built on a car park. It's dug into the ground. And Oblivion as well, that's one of the best dive coaster drops in existence, if not the best, because it is built so far underground and uses that terrain because of the whole sort of, you know, Alton Towers height limit tree rule. It's interesting, makes rides a lot better, which is why I made the pathways and everything a lot more underground and overground stuff, and the flat rides, because as you can see, it's not on ground level. And this is a Zamperla Disco. This is the flat ride I'm going for in this area. Took a lot of deciding. I'm pretty sure I cut half of it out, but I was sat there going through the flat ride menu like, I'm still doing it there. Do I put a claw in instead? Do I put like a chair swing? What do I do? But I thought with the Zamperla Disco, a lot of parks do have them. They're quite fun. They're very big, like crowd pleasers. And at the same time, it would make a really cool sort of entranceway for another area. And I did try that, didn't work, so I'm putting the coaster through it. Why not? If you can't put the path through it, why not put the entrance of a sort of element 2 part of your coaster through it? I don't know why I went on such a long random spur about why that coaster goes through it, but it's just because it looks cool. And I think it's one of the best parts of the ride. And because it's such a generic looking flat ride in this game, I can theme it up however I want to. I can make it, I don't know, if I wanted to go for the same theme as the coaster, which I'm not going to do, I can make it a Jeep spinning round and drifting all the time. That's if I really wanted to, because it's such a plain base flat ride, and I can literally theme it however I want. And, well, I say however I want. If I could theme it, it probably wouldn't be very good. Well, if I could come up with the theme for it. So, if you guys have any theme ideas or name suggestions for the coaster and, of course, that flat ride and the water ride that's coming up, then please do leave them in the comments below. I'm so glad you guys like the name Isle of Discovery. I was terrified that you guys wouldn't, but I've seen a lot of comments saying that they really like the name, so thank you very much for that. There's a little POV of the ride there. Ooh, look at it go. See, it's very snaky. Sort of goes left, right, left, right, left, right. Launch, left, right, left, right, left, right. All sped up there. And of course, we leave the main final POV right until the end of when the coaster's complete, so you can actually get a good understanding for what the ride is. But with that being said, of course, the theme for that ride, if you want to come up with that name again, the coaster is themed to a Jeep sort of escaping or going through the jungle into these ruins and everything. And that flat ride, as long as it's jungle based, I don't really care. I think it would be quite cool to see your guys' suggestions for that. And talking of suggestions as well, I need to go through the ones for the Celestial Park-esque area, because I still need to do that, but I haven't yet. And I'm putting an area for a ride station, which I will get onto very soon. These sandy areas, I need to talk about them, whilst I do some like different pathways that make the area a little bit more unique, with like thinner ways you can go to, like, I don't know, over and under the tracks and see loads of different viewpoints. Thought it'd be quite cool, like the adventure trail at Black Mamba at Phantasialand, something like that. But those two sandy areas, one of them is going to be a lovely entranceway. Of course, we usually just have like an archway that you enter into, and that's your sort of entrance to the area. I don't like that for a jungle themed area, so what I'm going to go for is something a lot like Katanga Canyon's entrance when you walk into it at Alton Towers. If you're unaware, it is literally just a nice pond with some fountains and some actual like waterfalls to the left and right, really natural looking, and it just says in big rock typing or letters, Katanga Canyon. It's so easy. It's probably inspired from another park, but that's the one I remember the most. I'm going for that. I think it works so well for a jungle themed area, and I'm really, really excited to give that a go. Here we go then, the water ride that's going in. I think this might be the most rides we've ever built in an episode. I can't think of one. Steampunk, definitely not. Viking? No, I genuinely think this might be the most rides we've built in a single episode. And obviously we haven't themed them up in this episode, but that will be coming in the next one, followed by that massive infrastructure that's going to be made. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. But we're going for a river rapids. I thought, absolutely love certain rapids in the world. You've got sort of, River Quest at Phantasialand, another one that does look incredible. I've been to Phantasialand about 3 or 4 times, and I still haven't been on it because I thought you got soaked. You don't apparently get too wet, so I don't know why I've never been on it, and I've missed out. But ones like Congo River Rapids now with the waterfalls back on, I absolutely love going on that at Alton Towers. And one of my favourites is Popeyes at Universal Studios Florida. Islands of Adventure. You get soaked on that thing, and I can't wait to go on it again later this year. Yeah, I think that's the sort of inspiration I'm going for. So there's going to be a lot of different fountains and sort of like areas where people can shoot cannons and shoot you off ride. Not actual cannons, water cannons. But there'll be loads of different interactive points with like guests on the sort of pathways and everything. And I'm really excited to get that done. But yeah, it's not the longest river rapids in the world, just a nice length. A good enough length for a rapids ride. And as you can see, the station, it sort of curves round before it goes in the station. You might be wondering what that is. Of course, most river rapids rides, there have been a couple that I've been on that do just have a stop and start station. But most rapids rides do have that turntable as the station. So I'm going to be making a custom turntable. Excited to do that. Here we go with more pathways. I feel like this episode is going so fast but so slow at the same time. I'm struggling to keep up. But yeah, there's so many different viewpoints I want you to be able to get. I think that's my main thing with this area. Isn't the actual ride hardware, it's more so everything you can see, because a lot of it's going to be blocked up by trees, but the bits that aren't really want to look nice. But there we go. The River Rapids boats, there's a lot of them, and they're going at their own pace. Look at them go round. Wow. The operations on the River Rapids and the coaster, by the way, in the end up pretty good, in my opinion. Oh, we had a bit of stack in there. I'm just going to cut this bit out. Building more of the pathways here, sort of in and out underneath the coaster and that water ride. And the thing is, as I started building more of this area, and as I started building these pathways and trying to snake in and out with that rapids between the coaster, I realised that my idea originally for 2 coasters in this area, 2 family sort of major coasters, wasn't going to work. So, with that being said, if you've seen a few of my comments, maybe, like some people have commented saying, you should build this ride, and I have replied saying that it will be coming in the next area, which of course is this one. That won't be happening anymore. It will probably be happening in a future episode in a different area. So the main one I'm talking about here is a wooden roller coaster. But I feel like this is actually the better alternative, because the original idea in this area was to build the Woody very family orientated, much like, I guess, Wicker Man, and maybe some, like, I don't know, one of the smaller, like, Gravity Group ones, just stuff like that. But I feel like building it in a different area now, it could be a major roller coaster, and we can literally just make it as big as we want. So I think that's actually a good thing that I've left it for this area. But yeah, no more Woody in the jungle. It'll be Woody elsewhere. Anyway, this is the coaster train going in now, and I originally, if you just saw a glimpse of it, started making the front of the car out of little like blocky bits, and it looked good, but at the same time I didn't know how I was going to put like tyres on and windscreens and everything, so I decided to try out this Jeep that's in the game from the resort pack, and it worked like a treat. You can literally see it here. It lines up with every single seat. The area at the front has a steering wheel in it, which is a bit annoying, but just let's imagine it's not there. But the wheels didn't line up perfectly, but it literally did the job. And as long as I used the theme that I'm going for and covered some certain bits up and made it look proper, around the track it looks completely fine. So here you go, some of the wheels are being covered up with some like sort of like bushes and everything, which is what I want to go for, you know, this Jeep that may have been sat there for ages in these ruins and is now out investigating what is happening. I don't know, that's just an idea. But now I'm adding a grille to the front of this Jeep, and I'm going for the Big Bear Mountain style of actual, like, you know, ride car, because I think the Big Bear Mountain one looks insane. I really want to go on Big Bear Mountain, but it's just not worth going to Dollywood in America just for that, when there's a lot of other good rides there anyway. But yeah, sort of going off of that vibe and using that on the front car there. There's a few other things that get added as well, just some like tube stuff, and you'll see that in due course. I really like this feature in the game. I feel like, I know the game has had its issues, but the one thing they got right off the dot, they got many things right off the dot, but one of the major things was adding scenery to the coasters. It's such a good feature. The fact you can add effects, and like I just did then, there's like a smoke effect that comes out the grill, again, maybe suggesting that this Jeep hasn't been used in a while. I just think that, I don't know who the hell thought of that, but whoever thought of attaching scenery to rides like that, incredible idea. It's changed the game, because even people are making coasters underground with other things on top of them, or like raised above them really high, and you can just use them as like cars on the road, or you can use them as like ski lifts. That is so cool. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad it's been added to the game, and we're getting more updates soon, free updates. We're getting video billboards, the custom ones that we've been wanting since Planet Coaster 1 to come to this game. What else are we getting? We're getting quite a few different things. The stock coasters part 1 is going to be happening, so hopefully we can finally go back to the Greek area and fix the train of Talos, because what Greek roller coaster has a plane as its train? Not many. So we're going to go back and do that, and at the same time there might be some other stock coasters, such as Drakkar, the dragon kiddie coaster that we have. Might be able to change that to a like sort of another dragon theme, I don't know. Although I kind of hope that doesn't get rid of the dragon, because then the theme is completely off. I don't know. Either way, this Jeep is looking very cool. We've got some bushes going in as well, just to sort of give it that abandoned nature that it's flying around. And I'm very happy with how that turned out. Had to get the very happy line in there. If you don't know, throughout this series, I keep saying I'm very happy with this and that. And it's probably getting on your nerves, so I sincerely apologise. But we're coming to real time now. Yeah. You join me again here at the front entrance of Isle of Discovery. There we are, the sun beaming down on us. Talos is stuck on its brake run. And as we walk in, that complete looking lake area does surround us. There we go, look at that. Ignore the fact the Emporium is still boarded up. I need to work on that. But as you can see, you've got this lovely view here, and I don't actually want to walk through this area just yet, because you might be able to see that there's a lot of trees over on the left side that have been removed. Now, obviously, I also did ask you for the names of these coasters, and I can't actually remember if I said it earlier. I'm not going to be naming them yet, I don't think. And I've just come up with that idea now. Because as I mentioned, I will be going back and sort of finishing off this area and extending it onwards to help with that bit of infrastructure that I'm on about. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot more to do in this area. So I think I'm going to leave the names of that coaster and the carousel till then. And the gift shop as well. I forgot about that. But as much as it's probably not worth looking too deep into the actual walk around footage, here is the jungle area so far. Wow, look at it go. So jungly. Wow. It looks more steampunky than it does jungle at the minute. But obviously that is only because the theming isn't here, obviously. And there goes the Jeep ride. Again, get some name suggestions in for that coaster. Would love to see them. And the disco. There goes the disco. I love that bit of the ride there. Right against the ground. Oh, and there goes the disco above it. I think I'm going to have some sort of, like, I don't know, boarded up area there that looks like it could have been an exit, or they're smashing through something underneath the disco. I don't know, but yeah, I'm loving that view. But as you can see, a train literally just went round there, and it's already going round again. The operations are insane. There it goes. Yeah, it's a little bit out of the boundary. I think where you're literally seeing that sort of rocky texture there, that is where the boundary was. And the rapids clearly goes out of that, as does the coaster, but that doesn't matter. And yeah, you can literally walk underneath the ride. You can walk up and down some stairs, over the rapids, towards the rapids as well. You've got this nice plaza area, which is where the entrance of this coaster will be. You got this nice ramp, and you'll be able to see the turntable for the rapids, and of course, another little plaza area up here, just for that rapids entrance. And some viewpoints of the coaster too. The one bit I haven't really worked on is, as much as it all links up, as you can see, it's this bit here. So there's literally nothing going on over here, no pathways or anything, and I'm not too sure what to do. I might have this section be more of like the ruins, and you can actually walk in and out of those ruins and see the coaster going around inside. Bit like if you've ever been to Disneyland Paris and you've seen the dragon in the bottom of the castle. That sort of cave-like ruin type thing. That would be cool. Something along those lines where you can go in and experience it, but it's one of those things that's quite hidden. I'd love to do that. So as I said in the previous episode, this area was going to be one area, so the jungle, and this lined out section was going to be a different area. But as you may remember, this little building, which might be the theme of the next area after the jungle, was actually more over there in this section, because I've moved it out because this is now going to be a little expansion of this area here, and I will be linking up this pathway down a little bit in like a sort of S-curve and making a separate little flat ride, or maybe a junior coaster again in this section here. And then beneath it, where you can see right here, this will be that infrastructure. You could probably guess what it is by now. I don't know why I'm hiding it, because I have been working on making the car parks look a lot more realistic as well. So I think doing that piece of infrastructure soonish would be beneficial to me having done the rest of it. But yeah, it's probably sounding very confusing, but the jungle will be finished in the next episode, and then after that we will start the expansion of this front area, and that will be built along with this massive area here in the video after the jungle is finished. So yeah, lots of episode talk and lots of future forthcomings. So subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.